Hello, and welcome to the English Listen Lab. Today, we have an emotional and inspiring story for English learners at the A2 level. This story follows Jake, a young boy who grows up in a poor family but never gives up. He takes care of his younger brother, raises him, and together they build a successful future. Listen carefully, enjoy the story, and try to understand the words and phrases as you follow along. Jake's journey, from poverty to success. Chapter 1. A Tough Childhood. Jake was only 8 years old when his life changed forever. His father had passed away, and his mother struggled to provide for him and his younger brother, Sam, who was just a baby. The small house they lived in was old and cold, and food was never enough. Jake quickly understood that he had to grow up faster than other kids his age. While other children played outside, Jake helped his mother with chores. He learned to cook simple meals, wash clothes, and take care of Sam. He made a promise to himself. I will always protect my brother, no matter what. Even though life was difficult, Jake never stopped dreaming. He wanted to go to school and learn so he could change their future. But with his mother working long hours, he had to balance school and taking care of Sam. Chapter 2. The First Sacrifice. As Jake grew older, he realized that school was becoming harder. His mother worked from morning until night, and he had to take care of Sam most of the time. There were days when he missed school because Sam was sick or needed him. One evening, his mother sat him down and said, "Jake, I know you love school, but we can't afford everything. I need you to help more." Jake looked at his little brother sleeping beside him and knew what he had to do. He started working after school at a small grocery store, carrying heavy boxes and cleaning floors. The money he earned wasn't much, but it helped buy food and clothes for Sam. Despite the challenges, Jake continued to study whenever he could. He would read by candlelight after Sam fell asleep, determined to keep learning. He knew education was the key to a better future. Chapter 3. Hard work and determination. Years passed, and Jake became a teenager. He had grown strong from years of hard work, but life was still a struggle. His mother's health started to decline, and Jake had to take on even more responsibilities. At 15, he started working 2 jobs, one at the grocery store and another at a local cafe. He woke up early to prepare Sam for school, went to work, attended his own classes when possible, and came home late at night. It was exhausting, but Jake never complained. Sam, now 8 years old, looked up to his older brother. "One day, I'll help you too, Jake," he said with determination. Hearing those words gave Jake strength. He knew that all his sacrifices were worth it. He was shaping a future not just for himself, but for his little brother as well. Chapter 4. A Glimmer of Hope. One day, a kind teacher at Jake's school noticed his struggles. Mr. Anderson, a man known for helping students in need, called Jake after class. "Jake, I see how hard you work. Have you ever thought about applying for a scholarship?" Jake hesitated. "A scholarship? I don't think I'm good enough. And even if I got one, who would take care of Sam?" Mr. Anderson smiled. "You are more than good enough. And if you get a scholarship, I will help find someone to support your family. You have potential, Jake. Don't waste it." That night, Jake thought about Mr. Anderson's words. He wanted a better life, not just for himself, but for Sam. He decided to apply. Months later, the good news arrived. Jake had earned a full scholarship to a prestigious high school in the city. It was a dream come true, but it also meant leaving home. Could he do it? Could he leave Sam behind? Chapter 5. A Difficult Decision. Jake sat on the porch, watching Sam play in the yard. The letter offering the scholarship was in his hands. It was his chance to break free from poverty, but the thought of leaving Sam filled him with guilt. His mother, now weak but proud, placed a hand on his shoulder. "Jake, you have done so much for this family. It's time to think about your future. Sam will be okay, and one day, you'll come back for him." Tears welled up in Jake's eyes. He knew she was right. Taking a deep breath, he made his choice. He hugged Sam tightly and said, I will go, but I promise I will come back for you." With that, Jake packed his bags and set off for the city, carrying with him the hopes and dreams of his little brother. Chapter 6. A new beginning in the city. Arriving in the city, Jake felt both excited and overwhelmed. The streets were crowded, the buildings were tall, and everything moved fast. He had never been in such a place before. At his new school, he was surrounded by students from wealthy families who had everything he had ever dreamed of: books, computers, and endless opportunities. At first, Jake struggled to keep up. The classes were challenging, and he felt like an outsider. But he remembered his promise to Sam. "I will succeed for both of us," he told himself. So he studied harder, stayed late in the library, and asked for help when needed. Slowly, he began to improve. Chapter 7. Staying connected. Even though he was far away, Jake never forgot about Sam. He wrote letters every week, sharing stories about the city, his classes, and his dreams for the future. Sam, now older, replied with excitement, telling Jake how he was doing in school and how much he missed him. Jake also worked part-time to send money home. He knew his mother and Sam still struggled, and he wanted to do his part. His hard work did not go unnoticed. One of his professors, Mr. Carter, saw his dedication and offered him a mentorship opportunity. "Jake, I see potential in you. With the right guidance, you can achieve great things," Mr. Carter said. Chapter 8. Challenges and breakthroughs. Despite his progress, Jake faced moments of doubt. There were times when he felt like giving up, when the pressure became too much. But each time, he thought of Sam and the sacrifices he had made to get here. One day, an opportunity arose, an entrepreneurship competition for students. The winner would receive funding to start their own business. Jake knew this could be his chance to build something meaningful for himself and his family. With guidance from Mr. Carter, he worked tirelessly on his business idea. He proposed a small company that would provide affordable educational materials to children in rural areas. His pitch impressed the judges, and after months of hard work, Jake won first place. Chapter 9. Reuniting with Sam. With his prize money, Jake finally had the resources to make his dream come true. The first thing he did was return home to see Sam. When he arrived, Sam had grown into a strong young man, inspired by Jake's journey. "I knew you would make it," Sam said with tears in his eyes. Jake had not come back empty-handed. He had brought an opportunity for Sam to join him in building the business. "We will create something together," he told his younger brother. Sam, who had always looked up to Jake, accepted the offer without hesitation. Together, they returned to the city, ready to start the next chapter of their lives. Chapter 10. A future built together. Years later, Jake and Sam's company had grown into a successful enterprise, helping thousands of children gain access to education. They had gone from two boys struggling to survive to successful businessmen making a real difference. Standing in their office, looking at the impact they had made, Jake smiled. "We did it, Sam. We changed our future." Sam nodded. "And now, we help others do the same." Their journey had been long and difficult, but in the end, their hard work, love, and determination had created something extraordinary. Thank you for listening to Jake and Sam's journey. We hope this story helps you improve your English listening skills. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can listen to more inspiring lessons. Do you have any thoughts about their journey? Or do you have ideas for future stories? Leave a comment below and share your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time on the English Listen Lab. Goodbye and happy learning.